Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Flipataku. Welcome back to another video. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It means a lot to me. And let's get into a new series where I'm copying from Zach from Uchu Shelf, I'm copying from Dubs, and I think Boogie did this as well. But I haven't had a lot of time lately to really do a review like I would normally want to. I tried to film a Gunpla review this week and broke my Gunpla and I had to fix it. So I'm going to start doing weekly catch-up videos with you guys talking about the manga and the anime that I watched this week and the toku I watched. So let's get into what you guys care about the most, which is the manga. And right off the bat, you guys are going to hate it, but I'm started rereading Robo De-Evolution, the same duo who behind the Ultraman manga, which we'll talk about here in a second. The last volume is coming out, I believe, in May, maybe June, depending on how things are pushed back. This is a retelling, and I say retelling because if you are a fan of the original manga, I highly recommend you read it and then come and get this, because this is a 5-volume retelling, and I've read the ending last year. This is the thing that makes me mad. Volume 5, the last volume of the series, has been out in Japan for over a year now. Over a year, and we're just now getting it. So 7 Seas, I don't know what's going on with you guys, but come on. Let's pick up the slack, guys. We need this finished now so I can hurry up and read it legally. And then I slowly, again, started rereading. Everyone's on this hype train, and I just finished it too. But I love this manga. Like, I love this manga. And we're talking about Blade of the Immortal. This is Dream Song. This is volume 3. This is the newest volume I've read this week. I'm taking it slow because a lot of the earlier Blade of the Immortal volumes are almost episodic, and I like that about them. So I'm just taking my time with it. Whenever I'm bored and I don't know what to do, I just grab a volume, read it, put it back on the shelf, and having a great time with it again. I did binge it a couple months ago and loved it. But now everyone, I think Too Spooky put out a video, Dubs Not Subs put out a video. Everyone's rereading and talking about Blade of the Immortal again, and it's making me want to reread it again. So, like I said, I'm taking my time with it, slowly but surely. Slow and steady wins the race. And then we got Ultraman Volume 13. The Volume 12 introduced 2 new characters, which is the Leo brothers. If you're an Ultraman fan, you know who those people are. A very action-based episode, very fast-paced. A lot of stuff just happens all at once. It sets up some really cool plot points, which I think is going to be the next big arc of the series, and I really hope it is. I really hope the series goes on for much longer. We're almost caught up. Volume 14 comes out in October of this year. Volume 15 in Japan just came out recently, and so we're almost caught up, which sucks because these were coming out at a pretty relatively quick pace, but I don't know what's going on. The manga duo have been working on so many other things, but again, a lot of action happened in this video, in this episode, in this issue, in this book, and still having a great time with it. It's still one of my favorite ongoing mangas, if not my favorite ongoing manga. But I'm also a huge Ultraman fan, so don't take my word for that. And I've also started rereading Blama by Satomu Nihei. I like all of Nihei's works, even Opossums. People are kind of hit or miss on Opossums. I personally like Opossums quite a bit, but I think this is Nihei's magnum opus. This is a fantastic, almost near-perfect manga, in my opinion. A lot of the storytelling is only through the visuals, which is a very hard thing to do, especially since manga is such a lot of it is so story-driven. Like, my favorite mangas when I think about it, Berserk, Monster, anything by Urasawa, Gantz. These things are very story-focused, and the way you tell a story is usually through dialogue, but what Nihei does, is tells it through the architectural designs, through the character designs, and it's so good. But I forgot how many new people show up in Volume 1. A lot of creatures, a lot of people, a lot of silicone life show up in Volume 1. And the reason why I started reading this again is because there were some really tall apartment buildings in our area, and they're half built, stuff's on hold, and I remember driving around one night after work and everything's dead. It's a very desolate area now because of Corona. There's fog, and it made me feel the same loneliness I felt while reading Blam, and I was like, I need to go back and reread Blam. Perfect quarantine vibes Nihei has. And then anime and manga wise, I haven't really watched too much stuff. Or toku wise, I'm binging Kamen Rider Build, which I don't want to show off my bootleg because we are anti-bootleg here at the Flipataku channel. But I've been reading it, I've been watching it on stream. Me and Base Empire are going to be doing a review on it, and I love Build. Going back though, the science motif is a little hit or miss with me at times, a little too cheesy. 01, I love the gimmick, I love the driver. I think that's one of the coolest gimmicks in all of Kamen Rider. But let's talk about anime that I actually physically own. And the first thing I want to talk about is The Wonderful Adventures of Niles Holgersson. This was a anime based off of a Swedish children's show, or Swedish book series, I believe. You can tell it's a very older series. You can see some of the artwork there. I've been watching this, again, very casually with my kid, because I'm trying to bond, trying to share my love of anime with her, and she likes it. She likes it a lot. She thinks the animals are super cute, and she laughs at the squirrels and stuff. So, yeah, if you guys are interested in that, something that's a little bit more obscure, a little lesser known, Discotek did a really good job. It's 52 episodes on 2 Blu-ray discs. It looks great, and yeah, I've been having a good time just casually watching it. Something else I've been casually watching is, I started watching this again in anticipation of the new show that just came out on Netflix, but I ended up liking, this is a 10 out of 10 anime for me. This is, I think, perfection. I think the characters are great. The episodic nature of the show is fantastic. And we're talking about Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. Guys, this is, if you can find this, this is out of print, this Bandai Anime Legends branding version of the series. If you can find this, it's out of print. It's not super expensive, but I think this is Production IG's magnum opus. Again, I keep saying that word this video. But this is a really good show. Major, Bato, everyone in this show are so good. The characters are great. And the world is so fascinating. And last night we watched Blade Runner. I'm just in a cyberpunk mood, I guess. And the last thing that I watched this week, I started watching Ultraman X. This is the latest release by Mill Creek Entertainment. And I think this is on a technical aspect, this is their best Blu-ray that they've done in this whole line. Everything looks incredible. No audio or visual glitches at all. I think Orb had a couple audio and visual glitches on the first or second disc. This has had none so far. I'm a huge Orb fan. I've watched all the Ultraman stuff that's come out so far. I've binged it. I've mainlined it. I love Ultraman. But I think out of the newer series that we've gotten, Geed, Orb, Orb Saga, Orb Origin Saga, and now Ultraman X, I'm more engaged right off the bat with X. I like the gimmick a lot more in X than I did Orb or Geed. But yeah, fantastic set. And guys, that does it for this week's episode. That's everything I've read and watched in this last week. Let me know what you guys have been reading and watching in the comments down below. Gunpla-wise, I built this massive Mazinger Z. And what I plan on reading this week is the Akira box set again. Akira just got a 4K release in Japan. I'm contemplating importing it. I think 4K anime is incredible when it's done right. The Cobra Space animation, the Gundam Thunderbolt movies are incredible in 4K. I've heard some hit or miss things about the Akira one. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If this is a new video series that you guys would like to see, let me know. I love doing this stuff. I love talking to you guys, and I can't wait to talk to you guys again soon. Anyways, I'm Flip Otaku. I'll see you guys next time.